discuss the introduction to our senior project for the summer of 2020. The name of our project is called ComboCounter, and it's done by myself and my partner Daniel Mato. Unfortunately, due to everything happening with the COVID-19 situation, we decided it'd be best to just do our videos separately, and so I'll be covering this section. So what is ComboCounter? So with the rise of like smart workout technology, like Nordic Track, Peloton, these devices, an application of companions, they're able to track your workout. They're able to kind of guide you. They're able to help you reach your goals, whatever physical goals you may have, by showing you your metrics and showing you data that you can use to make better decisions, as well as tailoring your workouts to the form you desire, whether it be riding or running. And so there's nothing on the market that kind of tailors like a high cardio, high intense workout that you would find in like a gym that's tailored for like boxing or fight club. And so ComboCounter will kind of be that reaction, that that answer to the market for that part. And so just we were able to, so for this version, we weren't able to get the physical component again due to the whole COVID-19 situation. We decided it'd be best to do without it, and we focused more on the application and how it functioned. So this is currently version 3.0 is one that we worked on, and one of the biggest things that we worked on for this leg, when we received the project, we did notice a lot of inconsistencies in the UI elements. We did also understand that we found this out later that even if we had the Arduino, that the sensor didn't actually connect to the application, and just the overall code architecture we thought could to kind of use a touch up and just be organized in a different way. As far as adding more features, we thought it would be awesome to have more like user friendly controls, user settings that could be saved to a database. We thought user themes, and just so they can calculate and make life easier, and just just go straight to the workout. And so here's some of the things that my partner and myself focused on. The list is a lot larger, but we felt these were the most important things that we focused on our individual own. Here is a Gantt chart showing what we did for our entire length of our summer sprints. And here are some user stories that we found very important. Again, like one of the biggest things you want to focus on was out the gate was actually ComboCounter heavy bag number 7. And so we wanted to make sure that the database was housed in a single class so we can pass all of our data efficiently. We talk here about user themes, visual feedback. That's one of the big things we added as well. So in each of our user modes, we added a visual feedback to show a visual representation of a hit, a punch. There are some more features that we would do in a wish list, which I will cover in a different video, but I think we tailored it to exactly what we're going for as far as that feature. One thing that's really cool about this version as well, from version 3.0, is that any changes that you make will be global. For example, we have a user settings page that you can tailor to sounds or your theme or other preferences, and then upon loading the program, it will actually keep those settings for you. But even after the fact, when you change those choices, the program changes globally and you'll have those preferences saved. Here's another list of some of the other things that we implemented. Here is just a use case kind of diagram, kind of going through how some of the flow of the project works. We can go here and just kind of see how the menu is set up. We have our home button, we have a button for calibration, so our settings, it's a history tab, and some of the user modes, and we have the option to work out by ourselves or work out with others. In the future, probably for the people who take this after this, the product owner does desire a mode that will have more than 2 users for people to work out together. Due to the fact that there's only 2 of us, we decided it'd be best to focus on the overall user experience than anything else, and we think we accomplished that. Here is just some of the diagrams, just to verify what we did. So we actually worked on a 3-tier architecture. We had a front end and back end, and then the database, which is our storage. Just to make things simpler, we decided to revamp how the database was structured, and also, again, put everything into a single class so that we can just have a manager for everything. That way, we can pull data from that solely in our font managers, into view history, stuff like that. In a future version of implementation, we wanted to see a view of different. So currently, we have a view of history that we can see, but we want to kind of have it in a different way so we can view more options. So the database has been restructured to kind of house that. It just wasn't implemented in the actual program just for the sake of time in the sprint. As you can see here, this like application does have an Arduino component, and again, we were unable to retrieve the bag because of social distancing. We started this project actually right in the middle of lockdown, so we decided it wouldn't be a great idea to do so. Just another diagram of our system design, and then a minimal class diagram. As you can see, we did our best to minimize how many pages were being passed around, and instead we use this base form control, and just kind of on the real world scale, we originally, when we were handed version 2.0, we noticed a bug that when you would press a button, for example, here, when you would press a button, for example, it would actually open up multiple instances. So say for double click home or double click this, it would actually open up multiple instances. I noticed that in the task manager kind of by accident, but we ended up seeing it was a big problem in the future. So this is one of the things we did to kind of do that, as well as using a singleton. Here is just one of the algorithms that we thought was important. We didn't do pseudocode, we decided we just kind of actually copy it in here, but here are some of our test cases as well, just to kind of verify. We had some bugs kind of going into the program, so we wanted to verify these were okay. So we had one to change our theme. We had one to see our history, just to make sure that the workouts have been updated over time. We also wanted to make sure we can interact with the database, because originally it did not. And so we want to make sure not only we can interact with the database, we also want to make sure that it was that anything that came into the database would be cleaned. So, there was one class, for example, where it's called class definer, where so our user obviously has a weight and a gender, and so it automatically will calculate what weight division they're part of. And so if their weight changes, it'll calculate that for them versus them having to enter that in. And so we want to make sure that that the data was clean enough to actually process. So we use that. And then another issue we wanted to make sure was working was actually the exit button. Upon receiving a version 2.0, this actually wasn't a button that was actually working. When you would press exit, it wouldn't go anywhere. You want to mute audio feedback, and then this is what I was discussing before about ensuring that there's only one instance of the page opening, and I'm happy to say we got that taken care of. So here is an overall summary of our project and kind of how we improved on. So we have dynamic themes, we have a custom font we worked on, we spent a lot of time on visual feedback and just making sure that the entire program has not just the right coloring, but it's consistent throughout. We did notice that some colors were off and different fonts and stuff like that, and also centering. So we wanted to make sure every page was consistent as possible, and then giving us just like high quality user experience. Our elements are now centered, and then we changed around our icons to make sure they were better quality. Here's some of the database improvements, and then also some of the bugs that we ended up fixing. If you need any information on this project, here's our information here. My name is Calvin Mark, so you'll find me here. Thank you so much, and go Panthers.